the Workforce Connections podcast, where we discuss workforce development in Southern Nevada. Here's your host.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the WC podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. She's been my friend for a while now, and she just assumed the role of interim president at Nevada State University. She is also my fellow board member at the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. Welcome, Dr. Amber Lopez Lasater, president at Nevada State University.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
And we are delighted that you're here as well. I know we've been talking about this for a while, but you have been getting your arms and mind around this big job. And I hope you know that we're a big supporter and we're here also to help you be successful. Let's start by sharing with our audience, our listeners, a little bit about you. For those of you who don't have the privilege to know you, to get to go to lunch with you at Peruvian restaurants.
Yes.
Tell us about where you were born, where you grew up, went to school. Perhaps take us to your first job after graduation.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you so much. It is amazing to be here with you in your new space. I was originally born in Wichita, Kansas. So I am a Kansas kid. I started out at Wichita State University, which is the state institution right there in my own backyard.
The mascot has a stunning.
No, it's the Wushock.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hay, actually.
Oh, hey,
yep.
wow.
Yep. I was a McNair scholar and started through the TRIO programs at Wichita State, and then had the opportunity to transfer to University of New Mexico, where I studied under Dr. Everett Rogers, who was this phenomenal professor. He was the founder of the diffusion of innovations theory. So he took me in under his wing, and I finished my undergraduate there in communications, and then went on to get my master's in community and regional planning at UNM, and then have my doctorate from UNLV.
Wow. So you really squeezed in all the academics early in life.
Well, yes and no. So I did the traditional graduate degree, then moved out to Las Vegas, worked, and then went back for my doctorate in public policy while I was working.
And I know that's hard to do it.
It was hard. The kids were little.
Yeah.
But I think the most compelling thing there was I had a good friend and colleague who said, look, the time's going to pass, and either you're going to have the piece of paper or you're not. And I'm really happy I made the decision to do it.
Yeah. Congrats to you. I know it's a lot of our colleague here, Ricardo Villalobos, is part of our team.
Yes, that's right.
He did the same thing. And so we saw firsthand how hard that is. So congrats to you.
Thank you.
To you and your family. They had to put up with all the dividing your time up between them and what's needed. So now let's complete that. Let's fill that gap, because, again, to your newest role, you've done a lot of things in between there as well. Take us from where you left off in your career journey.
So I think my first official job when I was at Wichita State, I worked at the public radio station, KMUW. I was on the development side, and I really enjoyed that work. It certainly dates me, because this is, at a time where you would use a typewriter to do the ticky-tacky of what the deposits look like. We had fantastic mugs like this, for all the listeners. And so I think partially that's why I love this kind of space. As I transitioned to University of New Mexico, I had the chance to work in the Office of Special Programs. So it was on the inverse side. I had kind of participated as a student, but had the opportunity to work with students who, didn't necessarily see college or university as a path for them, and to work with them for retention and to dream bigger about, what their life could look like with a higher degree. My first full-time job after I graduated was working with a really small nonprofit called the Human Needs Coordinating Council, and we did work at the state level. And so did advocacy and lobbying work in the New Mexican legislature around unemployment insurance. Got to be part of a great campaign around the creation of an affordable housing trust fund, education around tax credits. New Mexico is similar to Nevada in that you can make a real significant impact with good people doing good work.
Wow. So you've had I didn't know that about you. So you had a very broad background outside of education as well, which probably gives you, again, the tools you need to do the job you're expected to do now here in skill acquisition. So what everybody, I think, always wants to ask first about NSU, formerly, Nevada State College.
Yes.
Tell us about the difference, because we all saw it play out in the news, and tell us about what
supported us.
Yeah. What does that mean?
So this was a really quite significant transformation for the institution. The work started under the previous President Bart Patterson, when we started thinking about what a name change could look like, and then carried on through Dr. Darian Pollard, who you know. Yeah. Part of it was something as simple as brand confusion. So we know our amazing sister institution that we love, College of Southern Nevada, CSN, and NSC, Nevada State College, just right there, people would get confused. So I like to share that even my parents would say, when CSN would have a commercial, "Oh, honey, we saw your commercial." And I'd be like, "I don't work there. That's not us," right? So some around brand confusion. Also, we have a number of transfer students that come to us from CSN. So questions around, why am I at a college and I'm transferring to a college? And then another key piece is tied to the fact that we now offer a handful of niche graduate degrees. And so for both our undergraduates and our graduates, having that university credential on their diploma has certainly been a game changer. This wasn't something that we took lightly or came easily. We had to move it through both the Board of Regents and through the Nevada State Legislature, but have been very happy with the transition. And we also have seen that our enrollment has been steady, and we just actually had our largest first year class ever this last fall. And I can't help but think that having that university credential and for Nevada State to be a top choice plays a significant role there.
Yeah, thank you for explaining why the evolution, right? And that makes total sense. I think a lot of times we just see people, they're so busy, they grab a small headline or a small mention in the news.
Absolutely.
But really listening to that behind reason, if you will, helps you understand.
Yeah. And I know with your expertise from the employer side, when you see a university credential, you may look at it a little bit differently, especially for our nurses, where you do have that RN degree that's an associate's. Having that indication that you went to a 4-year institution was really important.
I agree. The next question about NSU that I want to ask you has to do with the Smart Growth Initiative.
Yes.
That's something that has a huge handprint of yours on it.
Correct.
Tell our audience, our listeners, our viewers more about that initiative, its impact, that you helped create.
Okay. Thank you for the question. First, I would say for anyone that hasn't had the opportunity to visit the Nevada State University campus, we would certainly love the opportunity for you to come out and see it. We're exceptionally distinctive. Once you pull off the highway and you're on this, we've got our new amazing 4-lane road, and that's thanks to the city and to RTC, but we're just butted right up against beautiful mountains. We have 512 acres. We've only built out 60 of them. Wow. And so we have a phenomenal opportunity to think big and to dream big about what the long-term evolution of the campus will be. On the smart growth side, we were able to create the Nevada State Campus Lands Corporation, and that's a 501c2 entity. Our beloved Scott Mulrath, the president of the Henderson Chamber, he is our current chair, and we've got fantastic community members and experts that are a part of that board. I actually sit as the executive director and president of that board as well. But we're thinking through how to maximize public-private partnerships so we can attract the type of development that aligns with the institution, and then also looking long-term to build out a fiscally responsible budget model where we can take some of those earnings from a ground lease and then reinvest them back into the campus. So it's exceptionally exciting. Yeah. We have a whole host of different infrastructure initiatives that are moving. We actually are working hand in hand with the Southern Nevada Water Authority and with the city of Henderson, the Horizon Lateral project that's going right in front of campus. We're going to have the opportunity to fully maximize that project and make some tremendous inroads on some of our water infrastructure challenges.
It sounds very innovative and out of the box thinking. Did I get you right that it's important that it be a completely separate institution or organization? Because you said you're also the executive director and president of that board. And
correct. Yes, it's a standalone. So think of it similar to a foundation. It's actually under our foundation umbrella, but it positions the institution in a way where we can proactively think through what the development looks like and have conversations with developers and architects and engineers, but think through a scenario where we're exceptionally land rich, but we don't have those types of resources where we can automatically do the build out. We're actually working with the Urban Land Institute. We were recipients of a technical assistance grant where we'll have a whole body of experts coming out in May where we're have a scope and have these types of questions that we're looking to solve so we can sequence the order in which we're looking to do the development and also want to make sure that we're working closely with the city and that we're also being a good neighbor.
That's so cool. And I never stopped to think about it that deeply, but it's just like a city, a county, a state has land, but not the resources to build something that the community needs. They seek partners like developers. And so you guys are doing that as well on your big parcel. That's very cool.
And the city of Henderson has 84 acres right across the way from us. And so we're also eager for the city to develop that space with a great mixed use project and knowing that that will help unlock the institution's ability to develop.
That's so exciting. The one piece of land that I always see photos on, I've never been to, maybe I need to, but is Scorpion Mountain or something like that.
Oh, that's right. That's right behind us. Yes.
Is it in the 520?
It is not.
Further.
But you can hike it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far from the...
It's right there.
Okay.
Like you can see it from right behind the Rogers
I've
building.
seen Bart post pictures of it,
that's right.
because they take groups and they have a flag on the top and all that stuff. Is it easily...
I haven't done it myself.
Okay.
I understand it's a little difficult.
Yeah, that's what I've been told, so I haven't been there for that reason. So I think Amber, in working with us, our mission statement is connecting employers to a ready workforce. And that's easier said than done because we want that workforce to be skilled and diverse. And we need our skill acquisition partners like the higher education, also the K through 12, also post-secondary vocational training, all the talent acquisition partners to respond to the actual needs of businesses and employers. Those are the people who create jobs, hire people. And so how do you see Nevada State University as playing their role in the development of a talent pipeline that meets the needs of our businesses?
Yeah,
and
great question. I mean, I would go back to the original founding of the institution. So we're just 24 years old now, and we were initially founded to help meet some of the critical workforce needs, specifically in nursing and in teaching. And since that time, we've built out a robust liberal arts and science and business school as well. And so I see our institution as integral in terms of the talent pipeline and workforce attraction. We've had the opportunity to work with great partners like you, like LVGEA with the economic development arms of the municipalities, and think through how our institution is working for just general higher educational attainment of moving the needle as a whole for the region, but also how we can specifically partner to meet some of those workforce needs that we may not either have current four-year degree offerings, but also working with our workforce division on credentials. And those could look like certificates or micro-credentials that are specified and customized for business.
And that's Tom's team.
That's Tom's team, yes. And Tom Nicholas is our director. He and the team do a magnificent job, but we take a lot of pride. One of the added benefits of an institution like Nevada State, just given our newness and our size, is that we can be quite nimble. And so always look forward to the types of opportunity where we can think through where Nevada State is distinctive. And also, I always like to brag around the partnerships with the other institutions. So how do we work with the other institutions to think through long-term pipelines? So for some of the students that start at CSN and they come to us, they start with us, they go to UNLV, they go to UNR. We've got partnerships with some of the community colleges in the north as well. But just thinking holistically around how we can move the needle as a state.
What about on the K through 12 system? What kind of connectivity
Absolutely.
points?
We've got great connectivity with the K-12 system. We work closely with Superintendent Ebert and her team. We currently have concurrent enrollment and dual credit in, I think it's 13 or 14 high schools currently, over 4,000 students. So a bulk of students that we see that start at the high school level. The fantastic thing is the data shows that early investment by the state pays off. Those students that come to us do better in math and English. They stick with it, so their retention rates are better. And we also saw this last fall that 1 out of 3 of our new students came to us through concurrent enrollment. So the thing I like so much about that partnership is, students are starting in the high school, and then they come to us, many of which earned their degree to be educators, and then they end up back with the K-12 system educating students that then are going to get concurrent enrollment. So you can see how it's a great cyclical partnership.
I love it. And you mentioned earlier that part of the reason that Nevada State University and most of us are in touch or attempt to stay in touch with the economic development needs of our region, which means what employers need, is being members of the LVGA. You and I see each other in those meetings, along with Stacy Klippenstein from CSN and Chris Heavey from UNLV.
Yes.
And John Ebert from CCSD. So I think that talent acquisition pipeline needs to be aligned, and that's obviously one of the roles the LVGA plays. So what are you looking forward to as an LVGA board member and representing Nevada State University and playing a role in how higher ed or the talent acquisition partners as a whole play their role in economic development? What are you hoping that role will be for us?
Yes. Well, I am really excited with the great work that Danielle is doing at LVGEA. I think the work around the strategic plan will give us the blueprint that we need in terms of long-term impact. I also see LVGEA as being integral in terms of coordination. So we know there's so much great work that's happening, and whether it's with higher education or the municipalities or K-12, or even on the business side of being the connector. And so the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. Also looking long-term for that type of businesses that the state is interested in recruiting, working hand in hand with the Governor's Office of Economic Development, looking at LVGEA as telling the story and helping share the narrative and share all the good work that the respective entities are doing, but having very specific goals, going after those goals, of course, recognizing you may have to recalibrate, given state budgets or given things that are happening at the national level, but that Nevada is a very unique and special place, and we've got so many great leaders around the table. It's just really harnessing and maximizing what everybody has to bring and then seeing how far we can move things.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yes. Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yep. So, Amber, we've talked a lot about academics, and rightfully so, because, they are the foundation of why we go to skill acquisition. But I believe there's other things that add to the university experience or the college experience or even, the K through 12 experience, and that's sports, that's athletics. And I'd love for you to share with us how the needle has moved. I've seen it in the news. I hear the buzz. How athletics are now a piece of NSU, and maybe who's responsible for that?
Absolutely. Great question. Could not be more excited. So fall of 25 was the kickoff of athletics at Nevada State University. We started with women's flag football and also men's track and field. Our women's flag football team had the chance to compete for the first time this last Friday in a tournament at the Raiders practice facility, and they swept. So they're 3-0 right now. I believe they're 5th in the nation, and it was so incredibly exciting. Yeah. We had great community participation. We had parents that were there, faculty, alumni, students. But it was really a milestone moment for the institution to be able to be right there alongside of the field and to cheer our student athletes on.
That's so cool. Are the uniforms black and gold?
We have a couple different renditions. So we've got a black and gold, and we also have one that's gray and gold. Wow. I'll make sure I'll bring you some posters, and so you've got the dates for competition.
Yeah, and what about the mascot? So
the mascot is the scorpion.
Still the scorpion.
Yes,
okay.
But we did a rebranding a couple years ago, so he's a little meaner and tougher looking.
Fighting scorpion.
The other one looked a little bit more like a chipmunk.
Happy.
So this one has a little bit more sting.
Love it. And I've heard her name and I've seen her on the news, but you hired somebody to drive
we did.
Yeah.
So our inaugural athletic director is Yvonne Wade, and she is a two-time Olympian. She has a tremendous amount of experience in this area. And most importantly, she cares so much about students. And along with making sure that we're dominating on the field, she really wants to see students do well and to succeed and to get also across the finish line when it comes long-term to graduation. So she's fantastic. This is similar to the renaming, something that the institution and the institutional leadership we've been working on for quite a long time. We were fortunate to take it to the board of regents and have support there. We were so happy to have our chancellor attend the game as well. But yeah, there's a lot of support, a lot of community support, and it's been so fantastic over these last couple of semesters to see athletes on campus. When you're just moving about the cabin, if you will, you can spot an athlete from a mile away, and they've been fantastic.
That's great. Before we go to your personal side, there was one more thing about your career, your journey, your professional career that I wanted you to share with us. Is you spent some time working on labor as well.
I did.
I'm sure that shaped, again, the tools you have today. Tell us a little bit about that and how that helps you in your role today.
Yes. So when I moved from New Mexico to Nevada, originally it was with SEIU, Service Employees International Union, and it was in a communications capacity. And so had the opportunity to work on the comm side, but then also moved up to chief of staff. And, labor can be certainly pretty rough and tumble. From SEIU, I also worked with the Clark County Education Association on the K-12 side. On the K-12 side, I would say especially had the opportunity to work in the 2015 and the 2017 legislative sessions where K-12 made some great progress and inroads there. But yeah, I was actually talking about this a little bit earlier today. Some of those jobs that are more difficult and test you in terms of your patience and resilience are some of the jobs that pay off long-term in terms of experience and exposure and having some of that grit to figure out how to problem solve. And so there's that piece of it. The other piece is really, you don't recognize it at the time, but sometimes when you look back, you can see a thread all the way through the work that you've done in workforce and career, and economic development is a key one. Yeah. And a lot of that ties back to labor as well.
Well, I'm glad that we have you now here.
Thank you.
And you can use all of that experience as well for your role. But enough about business.
Yes.
We gotten to learn a little bit about what takes most of your day, most of your week. But hopefully, we always hear this word of a good work-life balance, right?
Yes.
And we'd love to know how you recharge your batteries, how you refill your cup, how you, take time with your loved ones to regenerate. What brings you joy, happiness, fulfills you? How do you, when you're not working, which is a lot, and not volunteering at the LVGA, what are you enjoying? What hobbies, activities are you enjoying with your loved ones?
That's a great question. I've got a couple of kiddos. So I've got my son Dylan is 14 and my daughter Sloan is 12.
You're busy.
I am busy. And so they have very busy lives of their own. And so I certainly, any off time that I have, most of it is with my family or with my friends. My daughter does not let a minute or, a day off go by without something planned. So that could look like horseback riding or, we went to the Malibu Barbie Cafe to go roller skating. Nice. But we certainly like to stay busy. Las Vegas and Southern Nevada is a really easy place to do that. And so whether it's hiking or some bike riding, now we've got these ridiculous scooters that I try not to break any bones on, you know.
They go fast.
They do go fast. But have been really fortunate. I live in Green Valley and Henderson. And so we've got great parks, great trails.
So do I.
And really enjoy when the weather permits to be outside. Also love live music. And so been a great city for that as well. You know, you can catch a concert, a great meal.
I was just going to say,
any day of the week here.
You and I have shared some good meals. So you also do that with your family? You guys
absolutely.
are
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Everybody's always game.
Yeah. And Henderson, again, like you said, it's become a place where great chefs are now in Henderson.
Oh, it's lovely. Yes.
Boom Bang. I'll put in if you will, a shout out for Chef Elia. She's going to have a restaurant here on this.
Oh, that's great.
On the first floor of this building. So we'll have to invite you.
Oh, please do.
But I love going there, you know, the corner of 215 and Valle Verde, you know, and she's tucked there into that Smith Center.
That's right.
Just what a gem. You know?
It's great.
It's like you would be on the Strip.
I mean, and that's all through
all over
Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, even Boulder City.
Absolutely.
You know, where Nevada State's located, it's not infrequent that you can run down to the Coffee Cup.
Yeah, you can go down to Boulder City, no problem. Probably closer than Las Vegas.
It is, it is.
That's good. Well, thank you for sharing that personal side of you. One more thing we want to fish in that pond is to say, a lot of times I talk about the 18-year-old version of myself and how, you know, I wish I could go back to him and now that I have gray hair and all this wisdom, tell him, you know, don't do this, but do more of this, you know, and save him so much time and pain. But then I wonder if that knucklehead would listen, you know, because he was that 18-year-old.
Yes.
But if you could speak to an 18-year-old who's listening to you now, maybe they lived in New Mexico, maybe they grew up like you and they can relate to you and they see you a woman leader leading an institution of higher ed with experience in labor and everything you've done. What advice would you give them to say, hey, if you do these couple of things or mind these couple of things, they will give you a greater chance of arriving to your dreams because you've done it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say probably a few things. One is to say yes and show up. So, you know, every day when I get to work in our elevators, we've got these great bulletin boards and there's probably 20 to 30 different posters of events and things that are happening. I would encourage actually anybody to just look at what there is available to do and to show up. And then to know that once you show up that you belong. I think that's a piece where people will tend to either sit out or stay on the sidelines because they don't see themselves being a part of that space and place. But to really feel like, you know, everyone just gets up and puts their pants on in the morning like everybody else, like to show up and to feel like you have a seat at the table. And then the last thing I would say there is to just be curious and to, you know, I think it's easy and probably as you continue to age where just the same old, you get into your routines, you get into your patterns, or you kind of fall into a space where you're telling yourself, oh, I don't have any time. I'm too tired. I'm this, I'm that, or the other. Think about it in the inverse way of what's there to do? What could we be doing? You know, and sometimes that could look like, how do I give back? How could I get plugged in? How can I be a central part of the community? And then sometimes it's just having some plain old fun. And certainly I'm always game for that.
I love it. To think about another sports analogy for the Scorpions, it would be like, you know, don't worry about how many goals you're going to score. Just get in the game.
Get in the game. Get in the game.
I
love that. Yes.
That's really good. Well, you know, my friend, we've been talking about this for weeks or months, but look, the time already went by. We were right to the end of this.
Yes.
So we'll have to have you back, I guess.
So
we can have you as a guest again. But as we depart, we saved the last opportunity for you to share with our audience, our listeners, anything that's coming up with NSU, any big events, any big deadlines to register. What is happening at the university in the next few weeks or months?
Bet. I mean, I think the biggest exciting initiative that I'd point to right now is the creation of our new North Las Vegas campus. We are so grateful to the mayor and to the city of North Las Vegas. They've invested in Nevada State in a very meaningful way, 7.5 million meaningful ways. The state of Nevada, 2.5 million. And then, of course, our Board of Regents and our chancellor. This is a real dream to have a physical presence in the city of North Las Vegas. We'll be right at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Lake Mead. We know so many of our students come from that area, and that transportation is a huge barrier. We also know that the, higher educational attainment rates in the South or in the state as a whole are exceptionally low, but looking to change that. Mm-hmm. And so for me, my dream is once this building is open, and we're looking as soon as fall of 2027, which is hard to believe, that you just step foot in one building and that it can unlock an entire higher educational journey.
Well, that alone is reason for you to come back.
Yes, I know.
Talk about that some more.
And we'll be looking to work with great partners.
Yeah.
Like you all.
We will support you in any way possible. I know Mayor Pro Tem Scott Black, Mayor Goins Brown, they're big supporters of this, like you said.
Absolutely.
Meeting the talent needs of employers. So, yeah, that alone, I think, is a reason to do it again. Before we leave, what would be a way, I know you're going to give me posters, but if a listener, a viewer.
For sports?
They want to find out about sports, what's the website? What's the URL?
Yes. So visit our website, nevadastate.edu. And then I'll also make sure that you have all the information, any of our social channels as well.
Great.
Where we can't talk about it enough.
We'll put them here on the screen so our viewers can see them.
Oh, that'd be great.
And go watch some games.
Let's go Scorpions.
Right?
Yes,
let's go Scorpions.
Be great.
My friend, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, we hope to see you soon again.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's it for another episode of the WC Podcast. We want to thank the staff that makes this happen behind the scenes, and we want to see you at the next episode. So until then, stay safe. All right, so Amber, thank you for staying over to do our bonus segment called In the Hot Seat. Are you ready?
It feels hot. Yes.
All right. The first part is called Your Favorite. So we're going to start easy. I'm going to give you a category, and you're going to give me your favorite thing in that category. So an easy one. What's your favorite food?
Oh, that one's hard. I'm going to go with Japanese.
Your favorite beverage with dinner?
Oh, iced tea, unsweetened.
Favorite dessert after dinner?
Oh, let's go with chocolate cake.
Favorite way to start your day?
Oh, probably stretching.
Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Spending time with family.
Your favorite course or subject in college?
Oh, communications.
Your favorite hobby or weekend activity?
Oh, sports.
Your favorite vacation spot?
Oh, I'm going to go with the British Virgin Islands.
Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite holiday?
Oh, favorite holiday? Oh, probably Thanksgiving.
This one might date you, so be careful. Favorite car you've ever owned?
Oh, favorite car I've ever owned? Probably a Mustang.
Oh, I like that. Favorite subject in high school?
Government.
Favorite professional sports team?
Oh, Bears.
Favorite Las Vegas professional sports team?
Oh, that's tough.
We have so many.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to go with the Aces.
3-time champions.
I know.
That's been the most popular one.
Know.
And we had here Nikki Fargas.
Oh, yeah. She's fantastic.
She's fantastic. All right. You made it through the first portion.
Okay.
The second one gets a little tougher and it's called Tough Choices.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 2 choices. Hopefully you can pick one. But again, you're the boss. You can pick both if you want.
I like that.
Vacation or staycation?
Oh, vacation.
When you go on a vacation, do you stay in a hotel or Airbnb?
Hotel.
When you retire one day, and we hope that's still a long way from now, will it be here in the city or out in the ranch?
Both.
Both. If you had a day all to yourself, would you spend it by the ocean or hiking in the mountains?
Oh, ocean.
Here's where it gets tougher. Having more time or having more money?
Oh, time.
Having unlimited energy or unlimited patience?
Oh, energy.
If you were a superhero, the ability to fly or breathe underwater?
Oh, fly.
The ability to speak with animals or speak any foreign language?
Oh, foreign language.
Here's the toughest. You ready?
Yeah.
You have to choose one. Truth or kindness?
Kindness.
Actions or words?
Action.
Justice or grace?
Justice.
Well, you made it through tough choices.
Woo, okay.
Now it gets easier. We're going to give you 90% of a sentence, and you're going to finish it for me.
Okay.
If Amber could visit any place in the world, it would be...
Greece.
The best part about living here in Southern Nevada is...
The people.
Your favorite thing about serving as president at Nevada State University is...
The students.
If you could travel back in time, you would travel to...
Anywhere back in time?
Yes.
Oh.
We have a time machine.
I don't know, probably the 50s.
The 50s, okay. And 3 words that describe you are?
Amusing, ambitious, caring.
I couldn't agree more. And doing the WC podcast here with us today was?
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that, the bonus
I appreciate
segment.
it. Thank you.